Immigration is a pillar of the American identity. For generations, people from around the world have seen the United States as a beacon of hope, a place to escape war, poverty, persecution, or simply to pursue a better life. But the system that governs how people enter, stay, or contribute to this country, that system is under massive strain. It's not one law. It's not one agency. It's a tangled web of outdated policies, overloaded courts, ever-changing rules, and deeply divided politics. For many, it's not just difficult, it's nearly impossible. Let's start with the legal side. The United States offers several pathways for immigration: family reunification, employment visas, refugee resettlement, asylum claims, and the diversity visa lottery. But each of these is limited, complex, and often unfair. Take high-skilled workers. If you're from India or China, you might wait 20 years or more for a green card, simply because of your country of birth. If you're seeking asylum from violence in Central America, your application could sit in limbo for years while your life remains on hold. And then there's the undocumented population, millions of people living, working, and raising families in the US without legal status. Some overstayed visas, others cross the border in desperation. Many have been here for decades, paying taxes, building communities, but with no path forward and no way back. The border has become the most visible flashpoint in this debate. News reports show caravans, fences, patrols, and chaos. But the truth is more complicated. Yes, there are real security challenges. Yes, there are legitimate concerns about drug, trafficking, and human smuggling. But there's also a humanitarian crisis. Thousands of people fleeing conditions so dangerous they'd rather risk everything than stay where they are. The US response has shifted dramatically depending on the administration. Zero tolerance, family separation, Title 42, remain in Mexico. Each new policy layered on top of the last. And through it all, the border system, immigration courts, detention centers, processing facilities, remains overwhelmed and underfunded. Meanwhile, the legal process for those already here is a labyrinth. Immigration courts are backlogged with millions of pending cases. Judges are under pressure. Applicants are often unrepresented. People can wait years just to find out if they can stay. And let's not forget the dreamers, young people brought to the US as children, raised here, educated here, contributing here, yet still stuck in limbo, with their legal status dependent on shifting political winds. Beyond the policy, beyond the politics, there are people, real people. A father working 3 jobs to support his family. A mother afraid to drive her kids to school in case she's pulled over and deported. A teenager applying to college who doesn't know if they'll still be allowed in the country next year. These stories aren't rare. They're everywhere. And yet, myths persist that immigrants take more than they give, that they drive down wages, that they commit more crimes. But the data tells a different story. Immigrants are more likely to start businesses. They contribute more in taxes than they consume in benefits. They work in essential industries, from healthcare to agriculture, often in roles native-born citizens won't fill. And when it comes to crime, immigrants are less likely to commit crimes than US-born residents. So why is reform so hard? Because immigration is political dynamite. Politicians use it to win votes, rile up emotions, and draw lines between us and them. Bipartisan reform bills have been introduced again and again, only to be killed by partisan gridlock or media-fueled outrage. And while Washington argues the system breaks further, families are torn apart. Employers can't find workers. Legal. Residents wait years to bring over loved ones, and the chaos at the border continues. Fixing the system isn't about open borders or mass deportation. It's about modernizing the laws, aligning them with current economic and humanitarian realities, and enforcing them with fairness and consistency. It means expanding legal pathways for work and family. It means investing in courts and legal representation. It means creating a path to citizenship for long-term undocumented residents who've built lives here. And yes, it means managing the border with both security and compassion. These aren't radical ideas. They're supported by the majority of Americans. But ideas alone won't fix a broken system. That takes leadership, compromise, and the willingness to see immigration not as a threat, but as a cornerstone of American resilience. So what would real reform look like? Experts agree on several core ideas. Streamline legal immigration. Expand work visas where there's labor demand. Provide a clear path to citizenship for long-term undocumented residents. Invest in immigration courts and asylum processing. Address root causes of migration abroad. And yes, maintain smart, humane border management. These aren't radical ideas. They're supported by a majority of Americans. What's missing isn't policy, it's political will. Because at its best, immigration isn't a problem to solve. It's a promise to keep. The promise that the United States is still a place where hard work matters more than where you're from, where families can reunite, where talent is welcomed, and where freedom still means something to those willing to reach for it. So, is the US immigration system broken? The evidence says yes, but the more important question is, are we willing to fix it? Because behind the debates, behind the policies, behind the politics, are people. And their future depends on the choices made now. The system is broken, but the promise doesn't have to be. The United States was built by immigrants. Its strength, its innovation, its culture, shaped by those who came from elsewhere in search of something better. But the system meant to manage this promise? It's outdated, overwhelmed, and out of sync with reality. Calling it broken isn't just a headline. It's a reflection of what happens when laws stay frozen while the world keeps moving. The question now isn't just whether the system is broken, but whether we're willing to fix it. Because behind the policies are people. And the stakes? They're not abstract. They're human. They're real. And they're happening right now.